the run and gun handball game for me, because if they're charging in numbers, they do turn over. They've got support defensively, so some real quick movement through the middle of the ground.
What do you make of that matchup? Garnett going to Vesio.
Just had a look at that. Georgia Garnett has been really great for the Giants. A very young player debuting this year, but absolutely she can handle that challenge, so it would be good to see.
Giants will go forward first after the lasso, and here's another one going back the other way. Not a great kick by Lister.
This is what Carlton do. So you can see him open up this little pocket here to try and get the 45. If they don't get that, they're going to go long.
Downey just hangs it up. There was a clear arm pull going on there, and the umpire spotted it. McKinnon all over Moody. Brianne Moody, who's 4th in the comp for hitouts. More than 18 a game on average. Oh, what a one-hand pickup by Vesio. Fabulous player to watch. Goes back to Plain, and that kick to the advantage of Stevens. But, played well by Randall.
Stevens ran flat out at that. He might have marked it, or maybe lost it in the sun.
How about the way Vesio just cruised through? Picked it up one-handed and weaved a bit of magic. McKinnon got front position this time, and Carlton read it best. Shepherd applied by Prespakis, and Plains kick inside 50. At ground level, here's G. Just got a handball away, and the Giants have the numbers now. Parker able to link up, and they get it out of there, but it should be coming back. Moody towered over McKinnon and kept her feet, and Loynes applied yet another tackle.
Good to see a little bit more composure from the Giants just coming out of that back half. Then a few nice handball chains, and they were able to get a nice uncontested kick up the line.
Loynes leads the way with 6 tackles already in this game. A couple of them led to shots on goal. Parker being sweated on again by McKay.
She's hurt herself on that knee. That left knee got buckled under her. It's heavily taped as too, Nick.
Yeah, she had a couple of issues with her knee in our Canberra game a couple of weeks ago. Looks as though she's walking well now, though.
Set to play in the Sydney comp for the first time with the East Coast Eagles this season, so their hierarchy would be breathing a sigh of relief after she got back and got another possession to her name there. And well played by the Giants. Parker was strong. Got on the outside to Beeson. Who wants this one? Tully. Picked up the bouncing ball, went back to Bennett. Look at the ferocity of Loynes and McKay again, and it spills out to Prespakis. Teammate turned her back on her. Plain did not. Brooke Walker was thinking it was time to get off and be interchanged. She would have got a possession if she kept her eyes on the footy, and now Alicia Eva tidies up at the back, along with Hetherington.
Oh, super mark. I like this, though. They've opened the ground up, so this gives you options. So we've seen it pocketed on one side of the ground with Carlton's defence, so they've got the option to come inside here.
Garnett, who's playing on Vesio, and now they've got numbers on this near side. Tani Evans has just come off the bench as well. Hetherington spins her way out of trouble, finds Goodsir, and Privatelli is in space here. If they can work the 2-on-1, Staunton, I think, tried to tap it down to her initially. Instead, she'll go for goal and drag it just wide. But the eyes are lighting up today.
Absolutely. Cora would have been disappointed with that one. Would have been nice to see the Giants girls just hit Privatelli up just in that forward 50 entry. Then there's been a couple of times she's completely by herself. That
ball movement, though, they went from the outer half-forward line across, changed lanes, came inside, and then switched the play. So I think that's the blueprint going forward in the second half.
Absolutely, and like we can see, the Giants girls have great ball movement if we're nice and composed under pressure, so it'd be really good to continue that for the rest of this game, and I know that's what will keep them in it.
McKay got a tackle wrong for the first time, gave away the free kick to Stevenson, who's in double figures for possessions. You don't see that too often at this stage of a game.
Well, Louise is killing it at the moment. She's free again. I hope she get another kick here from Beeson. There you go.
Yep. Takes the mark. She's been on kicking duty, which helps rack up the stats in modern-day footy, Dicko.
Yes, as many as you can. You look in the paper, see how many you've got, a bit like the goals.
Tani Evans, an aggressive kick. Oh! Vesio backed back bravely, and Beeson came the other way, and you wouldn't know Darcy's copped a knock at all. She's ready to take her kick.
It's a fair point you make, though. The amount of possessions that they can rack up now, like the 30s and 40s in the men's and the 20s, which is just a testament of how the skill level's getting better and better. And obviously we can see with the AFLW, this year's been unbelievable football.
One-on-ones down the ground again here. And read well by Goodsir. Free kick as the tackle lingered, though, and the advantage accrues. Vesio, can she run onto it? It should sit for her kindly here. Scoops it up and finishes. Goal number 16. She's setting a new benchmark in 2021.
Yes, Daniel Harford, get it to Vesio, she'll do the rest. But you can just see there, we're sitting up here watching this. Prespakis gets it, knows the space is over the back. This is obviously her bread and butter. I mean, once she's picked that up, that's a clean pick up from a small forward. Great finish, and her second.
Loving these PlayStation replays of Vesio's work.
Absolutely, she is such a star, and you know, really smart by Prespakis again to just give it over the back, have Vesio in space, run on and kick the goal.
We're getting into that phase of the game now with the margin at 18 points. It would have been interesting if the result had gone the other way yesterday, because the margin would have needed to be about 5 goals and the race would have been on to get to that kind of margin the way Carlton are playing. 12 scoring shots to 4 as they look to go 4-0 against the Giants. Sarika ain't getting out of the bear hug applied by Egan.
Well, you think about it, before the season started, they were the favourites to win the premiership, Carlton, and they lost the first 2 games, I mentioned in the opener, by under a goal. So those 2 wins put them well and truly in finals contention, and they're off to the races. But such a game of inches, marginal gain in AFLW.
They lost 3 games by less than a kick. The killer was against Freo a couple of weeks ago, and they gave up 3 goals in 90 seconds. And lost by 4 points. Here's one for Hetherington to chase down ahead of O'Day. And with poise, good steady kick to Privatelli. They found it this time ahead of Downey. Staunton has the whole 50 to go to work here. It bounces her way, but Lalawifi got a nudge. And the umpire said that was okay. And the follow-up work comes from Zarika. Able to get the handball away, and it opens up for Mackerel, who just snatched at the kick.
Well, they had a little bit more time than she realised, but another great build-up. I know they're getting quite aggressive now in terms of their ball movement.
Absolutely, when you've got to keep taking those opportunities to hit targets, even if you think there's a slight chance, you know, you try and hit those targets to create more space for yourself.
Stevens was looking for a free kick. Umpire said play on, and Goodsir worked it wide by Allen. And that kick from Stevenson works out for the Giants. Trying to get away was Tani Evans. Handball to her own advantage in the end when she sensed Hosking was coming. Pretty clever work.
Rack up the stats, that's the way to go. Handball to self.
Look at that tackle count. It's felt like more than that, +10 in the advantage of Carlton. But look at all those tackles inside 50. That's where they really turned it on in that second term.
Absolutely, they're really bringing that forward pressure. But we just saw a really great build-up by the Giants. I think if the girls can keep hitting those 45 kicks and open up a little bit more space in their inside 50, they're going to kick some goals.
Midway through the 3rd quarter here. Scoreboard getting away from the Giants, but they can narrow that margin on this foray inside forward 50 potentially, as Parker swings it with her left boot. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going the way of Carlton. Downey says, give it to me. Oh, the sudden issue there for Prespakis. Oh. Mackerel let her off the hook into her back.
Yeah, a bit sloppy with the tackle there. Oh, don't reveal. Oh, no.
Academy Award going the way of Tate Mackerel. Congratulations. A push into the chest from Prespakis, who's not the umpire's friends this season.
That was gold. The gold Logie.
Very good from Tate. No, she's a great kick, but we can just see how much footy means to Prespakis when she's really, really getting into those tackles and pushes. But yeah, like I said, Tate's a great kick.
Had a chance on the run a moment ago. Now from the set shot, gives it everything, and near side missed everything. And Prespakis says, that's a bit of justice for you.
Commentator's curse there.
Yeah, you pumped her up.
Got a niggle going on between those two, and Sparkus letting Mackerel know that there's a little fine in some codes for that kind of flopping or staging. Back in, repeat entry from the Giants, picked off by O'Day. Long down the line to a 2-on-1. Vesio was the one, but tall timber in front of her. Play on quickly to Beeson. Good serve, just drifting inside forward 50. Now they make their leads. And the kick just on the half volley. Scoop back up, intended for Tully. Good serve, picked it up again. Staunton! Couldn't get enough penetration in the kick that time. Already a multiple goal kicker this afternoon. Vesio leads the race to this footy. 2 Giants again against Darcy Vesio. Hopeful handball back inboard, picked off by O'Day. Buys a little time for Egan. And a little chip over the top to Petrevski-Seton, who can turn and go. And she's got runners, including Walker, who brought it to ground level. That's a good effort to break even against Stevens. And the tackle was an effective one. A double team from the Giants to catch McKay.
They've certainly wrestled the play back here, the Giants. They've turned the pressure up around the contest. Alan McConnell said that we needed to do that, especially around stoppages. But they're moving the ball a bit more shape in the way they're transitioning this football.
This is a beautiful kick, Dalpos. And Bennett keeps it moving. They've had success when switching it from side to side in this quarter, the Giants. Little chip over the top from Hetherington. Zurika has time. And the lead into the pocket. Going to be tough to kick a goal from there if they did take the mark. And it went out of bounds on the full.
Great lead up, though, by the Giants there. Dal is a fantastic kick just to Bennett's in the middle. And then the awareness of Bennett's to just kick it out to Tanya. Tanya, you know, likes to think she's a speedy Gonzalez. And great work effort to get onto the outside. Just need to finish off our work inside 50.
So after the interchanges were rung, some fresh legs out there for the Blues. And Loynes takes a mark. She's had a fantastic performance today. The 35-year-old co-captain. Moody, a little hand in there from Harris, meant the mark was no longer an option. Petrevski tried to improvise. Stevenson did so effectively. Now Mackerel tried to get it back towards Privatelli. And now Bennett has a chance. Always looking for Beeson, seemingly. And Hunter's a pair, those two. And now off hands, tidied up by Downey. Turns away from Zurika and kicks to a 2-on-1 in her team's favour as Stevenson gets it out of play.
Louise has had a really great game today. She's had a pretty tough up and down season, has been dropped but then brought into the team a couple of times. She's currently a firefighter and is balancing that in football, but she's had a great game today.
Professional athletes like that gig. The firefighting gives them some flexibility as Beeson tumbles it in. Mackerel tidies up, and the snap is a beauty. Tate Mackerel with one of the goals of the day.
How smooth was that? That was awesome. Great acceleration, great read on the bounce. And the defender, no chance. You'll see here. This is what I love about a small forward, coming in on that angle, cutting across. Doesn't necessarily need to be straight up and down. That's a great pattern to get a goal.
I talked her up before and she didn't let me down, Tate. I knew she'd come back.
She's had a big quarter, Tate Mackerel, with 3 shots on goal, and now has the major to her credit. And think back a couple of years ago, she went viral, debuted against Carlton. There was this fixture for her when the family made the drive up from Mount Broughton, or rather South Australia. It was an 18-hour drive or so, and they watched her make her debut, and onions were cut all around the country as people watched that film of Tate Mackerel finding out she was going to make her AFLW debut. If you're not familiar with it, check it up on YouTube. Make sure you're alone and not in the company of others who'll watch you tear up as Parker goes over the top to Bennett. Beeson brave at the feet of opponents. And Goodsir lays a heavy tackle.
No surprise to see their ball movement click into gear. Al McConnell tick, and it's opened up there obviously inside 50s and scoring opportunities.
Absolutely. We've struggled a little bit to come back with some nice ball movement after some lower passages, so it's great to see the girls moving well.
Mackerel looking for it off hands this time as the Giants lock it in. Bennett's is finding space. Eva's getting her hands on it.
Absolutely. Bennett's has been outstanding for the Giants this year. She's got great awareness.
Oh, brilliant by Staunton off hands. That was fantastic ruck work. Sorry to
No
chime in
problem
there,
at all. I thought she was going to kick another one then. She's on her way to 6.
How good was this replay, though? What about the read? You know, when Speedy gets off his chair, he's ready to call goal of the year.
Lovely kick. Waded into the pocket for Moody. She can just run opposition rucks off their feet around Moody, around the ground. Harris just tries to break even, and we'll throw it in.
Carlton will be feeling a little bit of pressure now, I think. I know they've got 10 points, you know, ahead of the Giants at this stage, but they're building nicely with some ball movement, and it's going to be a great rest of the game.
Sun an issue again here for the rucks to contend with. Beeson taking on a couple. Parker laying the tackle, and the umpire will have to come in. Final 90 seconds of the third quarter, and the Giants have tightened things up on the scoreboard. Parker first to react in open pastures. Turns onto that left foot, waits it nicely for her teammate on the lead. And picks it up eventually to Smith, the former D. Tumbles it inside forward 50. Privatelli trying to get out the back. And there's a chance for Staunton, who threw her hands to her head as it didn't quite get out to her as she might have hoped, because she would have run into an open goal, but she stuck to the task. Keeps on running and just slapped out. They said that was an illegal handball, the Giants fans. Umpires gave it the all clear, and another repeat entry to Goodsir. Giants keeping their feet, and a free kick has been spotted.
I'm with Nick here. They're right back in this. They really turned the heat up. They've had all the ascendancy in here. They've got the pressure inside 50. You can just see the tackling, and Cora Staunton on the last one.
And she's found space. Can you believe it? But this isn't her side, is it, Dicko?
No, it's not. It's not the Irish Arc, as we call it. She might... I wonder if she'll go for the check side here, but... or the inside kick, but you're right, Speedy. This is probably one of the toughest ones for her arc on a kick.
Does she try the banana at training?
You never know what you're going to get from Cora, and that's what we love about her as a teammate.
A really skinny angle for her hooking action, and the umpire says, I'll let that sneak through for a behind. And the siren sounds, and Carlton were threatening to kick away with it, but the Giants have hit back, and it's a 9-point margin and game on heading into the final term in Blacktown. It's set up beautifully. Be sure to stay with us for the final quarter right after this.